Guys, welcome once again to this channel. Can I see some people looking for my face on the screen? Yeah, today we're playing a little hide and seek. You can hear my voice only. Our topic today is approximation. But before we go to what we'll be discussing today, I have a trick question for you. Now my question is, the number 0, is it significant or not? I'll go again. The number 0, is it significant or not? If you know the answer to this question, let me know your answer in the comment section. And if you don't, I would reveal the answer during the course of the lesson, so please follow me all through. Yeah, and in case you're yet to subscribe to this channel, do so right now. Yeah, please do so. Okay, under approximation, we're looking at how do I round to the nearest significant figures, and this was what brought about my trick question. I have two golden rules for this, two golden rules. Now the first one is significant figures start counting at the first non-zero digit. That is to say, your first non-zero digit, that is the first number that is not 0, is your first significant figure. Do you get that? Okay, now the second one is the zeros after the first non-zero digit are significant. This should give you a hint of the for the trick question. Now zeros before the first non-zero, if I have about 100 zeros before the first number that is not 0, all those zeros before are not significant. But once I've counted my first significant figure and zeros fall after that first non-zero digit, then that 0 is significant. Is someone confused? Let's go further. Let me use numbers to explain so you understand better. To further understand the concept of significant figures, let's consider these two numbers. I'm having 1508.06 and 0.01704. For the first number, my first significant figure is 1. This is because 1 is my first non-zero digit. The second is 5. The third is 0. 0 here is significant because it is coming after non-zero digits. Same with the other 0 in the number. They are both coming after non-zero digits. But for the second number, my 0 and 0 here are not significant. Why? Because they are not coming after any non-zero digit. The first non-zero digit in this number is 1, which is our first significant figure. Also, as you can see, the second is 7, the third is 0. Why is this 0 significant and this one not significant? It's because this 0 here is coming after non-zero digits, but these ones are not. So to answer my trick question, I would say yes and no. Yes, when they fall after non-zero digits, they are significant, and no, when they do not fall after non-zero digits, they are not significant. Or simply put, 0 is significant or not depending on the position they occupy in a number. So that's the answer for the trick question. Let's go on. So our 5 short steps of approximating numbers. We've gone over this before, but just to refresh your mind, I'm bringing it up again. Our first step is draw a vertical line to the right of the significant figure that is required. Either you're asked to approximate to the first, second, third, or fourth significant figure. Just draw a line right after the number that is required, and then look at the next digit after the line, immediately after the line. That will tell you if it's to round up or down. If you're having 5 or more, checking the number after the line, you add 1 to the digits in the required position, that is, you round up. But if it is 4 or less, you round down, which means you add 0 to that digit. And then the final one is that you fill up any space after the line with zeros. Now for significant figures, this last step is not so compulsory. You get to understand better with our examples. Example 1, I have round 0.05849 to the nearest 1, 2 and 3 SF. SF means significant figures. So let's do the first SF. Okay, 0.05849. The first thing is to locate your first significant figure. Now, what's my first significant figure here? Is it 0, 0? No. Is it 5? Yeah, it's 5. So I'll draw my line just right after 5. Now I'm having my line. I'll check the number after the line 8. Will I round up or down? I'll round up because this 8 is more than 5. It's 5 or more. I'll be adding 1 to the number at the required position. So my answer will be 0.05 plus 1, 6. And that's my final answer. Remember, I said zeros after the line are not too compulsory to put. So I can just not put the zeros. And you can do also. You're still on track. 2SF now. My second significant figure, is it 9? No. 4? No. Is it 8? Yeah, it is 8. Because starting from here, the first is 5, the second is 8. So my line right after 8, I'll check. I'm having 4. Will I round up or down? Definitely around down. So I'll be adding 0 to the required position. So my answer is 0.58 plus 0, 8. 0.058. The third SF now. 5 is my first, 8 second, 4 is my third. My line right after third, I'll be rounding up because I have 9. So I'll add plus 1 to the required position. My answer is 0.0585. Yeah, so that's example 1. Very simple. Just follow the golden rule and the basic step for approximation and you have no problem. Example 2. Round 70.935 to the nearest 1, 2 and 3 significant figure. Let's start with rounding to the nearest 1 significant figure. To do this, we have to check for our first non-zero digit, which is 7 in this case. So our line will come right after 7. Next step, we check the number after the line. We have 0, which means we'll be rounding down because 0 is less than 4. And to round down, we'll be adding plus 0 to the number at the required position. So we're having 7 plus 0 is 7. Now, is my answer 7? No, no, no. 7 is not the answer. Why? Because to start with, 70 cannot just by magic, by abracad, no, just change to 7. It doesn't work that way. Please, that is absolutely wrong. You might want to think because they said 1 SF, yeah, so 7 is just one number, so 7 is my answer. 7 is not the answer. What's the answer? Maybe at this point, you should know that when you round it to a certain significant figure, once you've drawn your line, every number after the line and before the decimal point, every number between them will change to 0, and those 0 must reflect in your answer. Only numbers after the decimal can be ignored, but the ones in between the line and the decimal point must change to 0 and they must reflect in your answer. Please take note from now henceforth. So this 0 will change to 0. Yes, I know it's already 0. I'm just trying to let you know that in case this number is not 0, maybe 7, 8, 9, whatever number it is, they will always change to 0 if they are more than 1. And then they must reflect in your answer. So my answer for this question will be 70. As you can see, I've placed the decimal point here to let you know that you could decide to put 0, 0, 0. You're good to go, and then your answer could be left this way. You're fine as well. Okay, so the next one to the nearest 2 significant figure, again we'll count our first SF. 0 is our second SF, right? We've dealt with this before, so we'll draw a line right after 0. Okay, we'll check the number after the line. We're rounding up because 9 is more than 5. To round up, we had plus 1 to the number at the required position. So we're having 7 and then 0 plus 1 is 1. So answer is what? 71. Again, I've placed the decimal points to let you know that you could add 0, 0, 0 or not. Okay, the final one we have to the nearest 3 significant figures. So we'll count our first, our second and our third. So our line will come right after 9. Then we'll check what's the number immediately after 9. We're having 3, so we'll be rounding down because 3 is less than 5. To round down, we had plus 0, so we're having 70.9. That's our answer. Now you might want to ask that what if this 3 is 7 or 8 or 5 or then in that case we'll be rounding up. We'll be adding 1 to 9. 1 plus 9 would have given us 10. No problem at all. So we'll just drop the 0 and then we'll carry the 1. That will be 71.0. Very simple. So that's how we round to the nearest significant figures. I hope you do understand. They are very cheap, not expensive at all. So remember to subscribe, and then we'll see you in our next video. Bye for now.